Hi, this is Jaycee the Guzman of Equilyst Analytics, your partner to a profitable trading and investing experience in the Philippine stock market. So today I'm going to answer one of the comments or questions of our Facebook follower on the Facebook page of Equilyst Analytics, and let's take a look at the inquiry. So yesterday we published our wrap-up report for the Philippine Stock Exchange, and Emilio Bombita asks, Hi, Sir Jaycee. Based on your analysis on August, JGS needs to break above 66 pesos in order to sustain its bullish momentum. It closed today, he was referring to yesterday. It closed today at 66 pesos and 30 centavos after falling down to 41 pesos in the last quarter of 2018. Any update on JGS? Before I answer Emilio's question, Emilio, before I answer your question, I presume that the update that you read was the update that I published either in our private clients forum for our clients or the free version that I published on the news section of our website at www.equilyst.com. So here, this website. Here. So we have the news section. So, and it's full of, it has hundreds of articles, stock analysis of publicly listed stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Now, I am going to give you a brief technical analysis about JGS. If you happen to be a subscriber of Equilyst Analytics, I advise that you log into your account, go straight to the private clients forum, take a look if there's an existing update for JGS, and nonetheless, you may also request for the latest price volume distribution or maybe even for the top 10 players chart of JGS in our private clients forum. That's the place where I can give you a very detailed, an in-depth discussion on a particular stock, not just about JGS. Now, nonetheless, I'm going to give you a free but basic update about JGS for the purpose of answering your comment on our Facebook page. So, I am going to use the charting software. I'm going to use the platform of First Metro Securities Pro to take a look at this stock. Okay, let's take a look at JGS. So on this chart, I have plotted the net foreign. The net foreign chart, we have the MACD together with RSI. Prior to recording this video, I already pre-plotted the support and resistance levels of the chart. And once you already know how to plot support and resistance levels, for me, you're already halfway through the process of learning on how to be a profitable trader or investor in the Philippine stock market. Okay, now, as of the time of speaking, as of the time of recording this video, JGS, okay, as of yesterday's trading, JGS closed at 66.30 and it's just a few ticks away from breaking above the resistance level that I plotted, which is near 66.50. And then that 66.50 is a precursor to the next resistance level, which is near 74 pesos. Now, should JGS decide to lay low a bit, to rest a bit, the immediate support level that we're looking at is pegged at 60.37 or 60.40 if you'd like to. And if it decides to break below that support level, then the next support level that we're looking at is quite deep at 51 pesos and 40 centavos. Now, let's take a look at the sentiment or the stance of the foreign investors for the past few weeks of trading of the year 2019. So from January 3, I think that, yeah, that's from January 3 to January 14, we've seen a good appetite, a good buying appetite coming from the foreign investors. So we can say that this ascent of JGS has been supported by the buying appetite of the foreign investors, at least within the first few weeks of the year. So that's one point. That's 1 point given to the bulls. I'm giving the bulls 1 point, 1 point for this. Now let's take a look at the position of the candlestick, the last candlestick of JGS relative to the position of the simple moving averages that I plotted. So I've only plotted 2 SMAs on this chart as opposed to the usual 3 SMAs that you see on most analysts' charts. Okay, so I got the 10-day simple moving average, and I got the 200-day simple moving average. It's quite interesting to see that the shorter term SMA, which is the 10-day SMA, is already moving above the longer term SMA, which is the 200-day SMA. Now, when the closing price is above the shorter term SMA, and the shorter term SMA is above the longer term SMA, for me that's a picture of a confirmed bullish stance, a bullish position for that stock. So in this particular case, I would say that JGS is both bullish in the short term and long term perspectives. Okay, so we now have a stock which is a perfect example of how it looks like to have a stock that's both moving inside the bullish, that's moving bullishly inside the short term and long term time horizon. Okay, so now let's take a look at the MACD and RSI. So by the way, that's already 2 points given to the bulls because of the position of the closing price relative to the SMAs and the position of the shorter term SMA above the longer term SMA. So 2 points given to the bulls. Now let's take a look at the MACD. What I always want to see when I look at the MACD is the position of the MACD relative to the signal line, which is the red line in this particular case. So MACD is already moving above the signal line, and it adds up to my bullish sentiment that the MACD is also above the zero line. So if you are familiar with my 10-day SMA and MACD combo or combination, you know for a fact that that particular combination emits a buy signal. So how do I use the 10-day SMA and MACD to identify buy signals? If the closing price is moving above the 10-day SMA and MACD is above the signal line, then I translate that as a buy signal for JGS. Now, since for some of you who were not able to enter a new position on JGS last November 19, that was the day when MACD crossed above the signal line and the closing price went higher than the 10-day SMA. If you were not able to ride on JGS on that particular day or week, it might be extra risky to chase this stock all the way to 66 or all the way to 65. So I would advise that you wait for this particular stock to inch closer to the immediate support level. Try to wait at 60.37. Now, if you're really if you are an experienced trader and you can accommodate an extra amount of risk, and you would like to trade based on the momentum, based on the bullish momentum of JGS, I would advise that you would just buy in tranches. Never go all in. Okay. Now, so that's a total of 3 points for the bulls based on the position of the closing price relative to the SMAs, the bullish stance of the foreign investors, and the position of MACD to the above the signal line. Now let's take a look at the RSI. So RSI here has already kissed the classical overbought territory as far as the classical interpretation of RSI is concerned. Now, as far as my personal interpretation of RSI is concerned, I do not translate this as a signal to get out of JGS or to realize my gains or to realize my losses on a particular stock. If I got bullish sentiments from my MACD, from the foreign investors, or from the position of the closing price relative to the SMAs, it happens that RSI is already moving inside the overbought territory, I will not translate RSI signal as though it's time for me to sell my shares of a particular stock. Instead, I'm going to interpret this position of RSI as a confirmation that JGS is indeed moving inside the extremely bullish channel or territory. So it adds up to my conviction that, oh, okay, I think it's okay for me to hold my position on JGS instead of abiding by the classical interpretation of RSI, whereby they say that if and when RSI hits the overbought territory, you will have to sell either in partial or in full, meaning all of your shares. I'm not going to follow that. Instead, I'm going to use this as to translate um, my conviction or my sentiment that it's okay for me to hold my position on JGS for as long as it's a conditional clause. Here it is. For as long as JGS is moving above my, notice the pronoun, above my trailing stop loss. Because my trailing stop loss can never, could not be, it may not be your trailing stop loss as well. Okay? So my sell indicator is nothing but my trailing stop loss. Even when the closing price hits below or inches very close to my trailing stop loss, that's the time that I sell my position. That's the only sell indicator that I use, trailing stop loss, nothing else. If you are a subscriber of Equilyst Analytics, there is this newsletter that I wrote specifically about trailing stop loss. I explain why use a trailing stop loss, how to calculate a trailing stop loss, and most importantly, when should you calculate your trailing stop loss, which is obviously before you enter a new position on a particular stock. Okay, so I suggest you read. If my memory serves me right, that's newsletter volume 1, number 10 or 13. Anyway, you can take a look at the newsletter section or tab of your on your dashboard when you log into your Equilyst Analytics account. So to wrap this up, for me, JGS is still bullish. If you were not able to enter a position last November 19, or at least on the last week of November, okay, I would suggest you ask yourself, am I a high risk investor? Am I a high risk trader? Or I am just a beginner? I think I can only accommodate low to moderate risk stocks. So at this very moment, looking at the volatility and price fluctuation of JGS, without even looking at my risk level chart generator, I can tell that JGS is already more than just a low risk stock. I think it's already trading within the moderate risk territory. So nonetheless, if you are a high risk or an experienced trader and you would like to chase the stock all the way near 66 pesos or 67 pesos, I would advise that you would just buy in tranches instead of buying in a one-time big-time fashion. Okay, so risk management, try to mitigate your risks, limit your risks in connection to your financial goals, investment horizon, and risk tolerance. And again, apply the trailing stop loss strategy. So I hope, Emilio, I was able to answer your question, to shed some light about my interpretation of the performance of JGS as far as its chart, the net foreign investor stance or sentiment, what the MACD and RSI say about this particular stock. I hope this video helps. And for those of you who have been quite curious, what is this Equipix? What is this service of Equilyst Analytics that I have been talking about all throughout this video? I would advise that you go straight to our website. That's www.equilyst.com, and then you hover your cursor on top of the services menu and then click on Equipix, and then you're going to see these. Okay, so these are the packages that we have. And what do you get? What do you get when you subscribe to Equipix? 3 things. You will have access to my stock recommendations for short-term trading. Secondly, you will have access to my stock recommendations for long-term investing. And thirdly, you will get access to our private clients forum where mentoring happens. That's the only place where I conduct in-depth discussions. That's where I post my in-depth analysis on any stock. So, and also I would advise that you stay in this program for at least a year. Why so? It's because we have our own methodology, we have our own framework, we have our own way of analyzing data. How I analyze JGS in this particular video is not totally how I analyze data, how I analyze data for my customers at Equilyst Analytics. I did not talk about price volume distribution in this video. I did not talk about the top 10 player sentiment in this video. And those two charts are the most important charts that we use to come up with a data-driven investment decision. So that's the edge of our customers who are subscribed to our Equipix service. Okay. Now there are 3 subscription steps in here, but I'm going to summarize it up for you. First, you will have to fill this initial registration page, and then our system will send you an automated email. If it's not in your inbox, please check your spam folder. Sometimes those emails land on people's spam folders. Now, that email contains the URL to complete your registration. Please click on that registration completion link or URL, and then it will bring you to another page on our website. It will ask for your other pieces of information. Fill it out and then complete your registration. And once completed, you can then log in. Okay, you can then log in onto the dashboard of our website. So you see this login page here? You can then log in here. Enter your username and password, and then you will see, of course, your membership level won't be the same as mine. After completing your registration, your membership level will be awaiting payment or for payment verification, something like that. Mean to say you will have to pay for your membership or subscription first. Then, as you can see here, there is a pay or renew subscription button. Just click on this button and then it will take you to the page where you will find your payment options. If you're going to pay using your debit card, credit card, or PayPal, your account will be activated immediately, instantly. No need for human intervention. Okay? You don't need to send us your proof of payment just for us to manually activate your account. No, it will be done automatically, instantly, on the spot. But if you're going to pay through over the counter, by visiting a remittance center, or by using the online fund transfer facility of online banking, you will have to email us your proof of payment. Email it to contact@equilyst.com, and then nonetheless, nothing to worry because we verify payments within the day, and for as long as we receive your proof of payment during business hours, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., you can expect that your account will be activated within the same day. Okay, so, and lastly, I also would like to invite you to my upcoming seminar, Interlock City live stock market seminar. Learn how to invest in the Philippine stock market like a pro. You can see the details on the events section on our website. Just go ahead to just visit equilyst.com and then click on events. Then you will see the details for this particular seminar. So the regular price for this seminar is $3,500. If you're going to buy your ticket on or before January 31, 2019, the early bird promo is only $1,500. Doing the arithmetic, that's more than 50% off. Now, what do you get in this seminar? You will learn why you should invest in the Philippine stock market. You will learn where the Philippine stock market is heading. You will know how to get started. You will know what investment strategies are right for you. You will know when you should be a trader or an investor. And finally, I will tell you which stocks you should buy. So this is not your ordinary basic seminar. Okay, this is not your ordinary basic seminar. And yep, that's it. You will get all the details. And by the way, this is in partnership with First Metro Securities. Those who will open an online stockbroker's account with First Metro Securities on the venue itself will get the chance to win one of those 2,500 pesos worth of FMETF investment certificates. Okay, so you also get a certificate of attendance, and snacks and lunch are also already included in this particular event. And just in case I did not wow you, if I did not wow you during the event, you did not learn anything, just let me know, approach me or my staff, and I will personally return your uh, learning fee, your learning seminar, if for you I did not make sense at all for that day. So 100% guarantee, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Okay, that's my satisfaction guarantee for you. So it's Interlock City. Okay, now going back to the video, if you have further questions about this particular video, just comment on this video on our YouTube channel. And speaking of which, I advise that you follow us on our YouTube channel, so you'll be one of those guys who will be notified first whenever we upload the video on our YouTube channel. Okay? All right, thank you for listening. I hope this helps. Thanks.